Hey there, welcome to another blog post. Today we're going to talk about the L word. I'm going to use a snippet from the most recent webinar that is part of the course that I give. This was last week, and this topic came up about the L word. I'm just being facetious. I have no problem using the word love. However, just like a lot of words in spirituality, God, love, enlightenment, they just are at the top of the cultural overuse and misinterpretation list. So I think it's wise to be careful how we use it. But I think used appropriately and moderately, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these words. So it came up in this webinar, and I thought it was a good bit of teaching, and so I'll share it with you. When I show this clip to you, the fellow to my right, who you see in the video, is the co-teacher, Peter Cutler, during the webinar. And I apologize to Peter; he doesn't say a lot in this particular exchange. I'm still working out the recording video, and just much of this particular recording, the audio and video was out of sync. So, at any rate, so I also wanted to mention this before I share the video, just very briefly. That has to do with taking a course like this. There's a certain amount of intensity that I think that the students are experiencing, and that I personally am experiencing. So I'm not going to try to verbalize what I think their experience of it is, but I can certainly detail a little bit about what my experience of it is. I always like to be the backstage guy who's not trying to display total perfect peace and equanimity, and so what's it like for me? What's it like for a teacher to give a course and to help 15 people along as best as one can in the spiritual awakening process? Well, I will tell you, it's pretty damn intense. It's not easy. Essentially the bottom line is there's a feeling of holding the space constantly for everybody for the 8 weeks that the course goes on, and I'm completely fine with this. I mean, it's part of the job, and it's not as heavy as it sounds. But there can be a lot of what I do in this course is check emails, respond to comments, make sure that technically everything goes correct, and fine-tuning all the videos that are available during the course, and then of course the webinars that we have on Wednesday evening, which is two hours of solid heart-opened concentration. And all of that put together over the course of 8 weeks, I'm finding is fairly intense. This was the first online run through that we've done of the course, and but intense in a positive way, at least for me. Intense in a positive way. I should say this: there's never a moment, to be true to one of the principal tenets of awakening, there's never a moment where there isn't a connection to this fundamental wellness and fundamental okayness and this sense of unity. However, paradoxically, on top of that, sure, you can have stress, you can have overwhelm, you can have confusion, etc. So some of that, happens as a teacher when you're teaching this stuff. I can only imagine this. What a strange experience it must be for like Eckhart Tolle to do the thing he did with Oprah a couple of years ago, when it seemed like there was this internet teaching event that was just like, it was Oprah and Eckhart and 5 billion people. So that must have been an intense experience for Eckhart Tolle. So you're not immune to these things with awakening. And so, yes, it's a beautiful intensity. And I invite anybody to experience this. I think it's one of the fundamental parts of really waking up. At one point or another, you have to enter the fire. You have to get in a sweat lodge. You have to walk across some coals. So that's really what this course is, um, uh, and it's kind of like that way for me too. So that's a little bit about the backstage. Enough of that. I'm going to share with you this clip and enjoy this little tidbit about the not often spoken word here at Blue Collar Enlightenment, LOVE, the L word, love. Thanks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
And what happens is that we inevitably run into uncomfortable situations that have been buried in us, uncomfortable um, bits of pain, bits of anger, bits of sorrow, bits of dishonesty, bits of unworthiness and unlove. And these take on very, very real knots in our body. And it hurts to unwind them and to reveal them. However, just like what Peter is saying here and what this course is about, is the self-acceptance. See, awareness meets these knots. It meets these moments of difficulty and accepts them and loves them. I think that's the word. It loves them. It's like little parts of us that are divorced, that are been pushed aside, that are shunned, and it's finally it's like all of you loving all of you, and it's not easy to do that. However, that really is what this whole process, what this whole course is about. It's sort of Peter and I, it's our job to bring out essentially those little knots and those little pieces of unlove. And with our support and with everyone's support here, uh, create a vessel that is safe and that says it's okay, that stuff can come out here. Allow that to come out. And just by verbally even saying it, by evoking it, something wakes up in everybody. Some little piece moves slightly forward, and then with us all holding hands and all having a connection to consciousness, to the one who is loving, we're able to help you, you who are suffering, you are having this pain, you who are in doubt, you who are longing for this whole thing to end. It gives you this extra bit of help. In other words, Peter and I have our flashlights, and the group as a whole has a flashlight, and it's helping you to 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 get your own flashlight in focus and to be able to look at these things and to be able to feel into them. And this is also true for those who may be not feeling anything, that there's nothing that you're quite resonating with, maybe a little bit but not a whole lot. And so to those, what I would say is, you're here. Some part of you wants to be here. There is some part, and maybe it hasn't quite come into focus, but it will, and it will either in this course or at some other point in your life. I can guarantee it. Either you're going to get the lesson here, or life is going to give you the lesson, one way or another. So to those who may be not feeling it, that's what I would say. And yeah, this whole, really, I don't use that word too often because I'm Mr. Blue Collar, but love really is what we're talking about here, folks. Love itself. And to be in touch with it, it loves everything. It loves all your broken parts, all your broken zones, and it welcomes all of those into awakening. This is why you do not have to be perfect for this. You do not have to finally arrive at perfect health, perfect fitness, perfect psyche. You never will. And then paradoxically, even afterwards, you still have those little broken bits and pieces which trail along with you into awakening.